Pumpkins, fight or settle? What would you do if you were Richard Hart? I know the crowd voted emphatically yes to a fight, but I'd like you to know something. I'm just going to be honest. I have to speak to the whole community here. Richard Hart versus the SEC. Should he fight or settle? Friends, to be honest, if he fights, it won't matter. 99% of people will still call him a Ponzi scammer. I promise you this. I've seen enough Bitcoin community, Ethereum community, soy boy journalists. Shout out to Coexistent Steven, by the way. I know he enjoys soy, but for everybody else who's just actual soy boy with a pencil neck and round elbows, they don't care, man. They don't care. I even use this example. Sleepy Joe Biden can bend over, kiss the feet of Richard Hart himself, right? His webbed feet as a duck. It won't matter. The haters will still ignore it. They don't care. I've spoken to enough people. I don't waste my breath anymore. People have truly made up their minds. They will always see him as a scammer. They will always see that. And I'd like to prove it to you. This is the HEX chart on a linear scale. Of course, it's not the real chart. That's the real chart. It still sucks. And also, it doesn't show you the PHEX copy. What chart do you think people are showing you everywhere? Do you think they're posting this? Do you think they're posting the combined price? Do you honestly think they are posting combined HEX? Shout out to Mr. Dipcatcher. We appreciate you. They're not posting this, man. They're not posting this at all. They don't care. They're posting the linear chart. You see it. Bitcoin influencers, Ethereum influencers, every single person on Twitter. You know this, okay? So that's the truth. And you need to know this because we have a fighting spirit. We want to fight. But it comes down to that. What are you going to gain by it? Are you going to gain glory? Glory from whom? The community already respects him. Does Charles Hoskinson need to go fight the US government? Everybody already respects him. And the people who don't, they're never going to respect him. There are Ethereum maxis. They'll never like Charles. You can use this with many other leaders out there. It's not worth winning them over. Personally, I would settle. But temper your emotions right now because I've made previous posts showing you there were 2 cases. You actually use AI. 2 cases to search for this. I posted 2 previous scenarios with the precedences in crypto where the SEC settled with 2 crypto entities and there was a focus on fraud accusations. It was including whether they were registered in securities, but the focus was on fraud. So the SEC didn't really say, oh, it's definitely a security. They say, yeah, it is, but they're just throwing it out there because they have a hammer and everything looks like a nail. Both these cases, there was a no-fault settlement. It was basically the entities paying and they go, look, we're not going to admit to any fault. Here's your extortion fee. Goodbye. Now, in the scenarios that happened, I think they were guilty. I didn't even look into the case, but it's 2017 ICO, so probably everybody was guilty back then. So they paid the extortion fee. They said, we admit no fault. See you later. Now I'm here to ask you what you think. All right. Now we have questions from everybody. Comments from Mr. Quad Q. If he fights, it will cost hundreds of millions of dollars in fees. He will miss at least one cycle. He'll probably settle for a few tens of millions fine and be good to go immediately. I think this is what he should do. Now, he's going to analyze it from both scenarios. He's going to decide what's best for him and everything else. But there is something going on here because we've got to decide, all right, do we want to settle and participate in the bull market or do you want it to drag on? Because yes, we are liquidity bonded. Yes, we have a large number of voices in the community. This is where I'm analyzing and seeing everybody. But he is such a powerful marketer. He is like a top tier S-class asset. S is above A plus T, okay? Specialty. He knows the trends coming. He can see the trend. He can smell the trend. He is the trend. He knows how to talk to many people, groups of people. You can't replace it. It really is missing. It's going to succeed even without him, but it depends on your measure of success. You know, like Argentina can still do well as a soccer team, but when you're missing Messi, you get the point, right? Richard Hart is basically the Messi. It's very clear. It's very obvious. So there are other people thinking about it too. Mr. Crypto Sky saying, my gut feeling is that he won't settle on principle. I hope the new Richard Hart will just settle and be done with it, but also he loves to be right. So now, is he going to pull everyone down? Everybody's thinking, okay, you know, Mr. Stevie is also saying, settle it and move on, forget this happened. The moment he settles, the ecosystem will pump. If he fights it, it could take years like XRP. You know, I think I saw a comment from Mr. B Roots as well, who believes there will be a settlement and he won't miss the bull market because it's worth everything. Like, you wait so long for it. Because we're looking at these prices, man. These prices are absolutely shocking. Shocking prices. But we all know it. We all know it, right? Down 90% for PulseX. Murdered beyond belief. Hex, everything murdered beyond belief. Like, both the hexes are below a penny. It's disgusting. Combined hex hit below a penny. And this is the scenario no one wants to sit through. And completely understandable. So now everyone's worried. Is the system going to get dragged on? You know? Is he going to pull the whole, hey, you got to delay gratification anyway, let me fight this for 3 years, and then maybe in year 7 you'll be out? You know, like, I don't know. There could be tongue-in-cheek, you know. We don't know exactly what's going to happen. We're going to have to wait for November 28th. Nov 28th, there's going to be that court case. He doesn't have to appear in there. He's going to have like representative, probably, or some counsel, and then we'll take it from there. But now we can have some lighthearted fun because the SEC has got a message from me. I am a victim of Richard Hart's bidet. Trayvon James saw pictures of Richard Hart buying a laptop, he said, with some black dude. I think it was in the Miami store somewhere. That's what Trayvon said. He goes, it was with some black dude paying a laptop. So basically, you know what it is, friends? Why would you show that? It means they're trying to look for fraud. They go after a dude buying a laptop in a store for his mum and dad. They're like, oh, was that funds? Look, man. If that's the best they can do, really, a laptop, you know. Now they're going to show the Gucci purchases and all that other junk. There's 600 million still sitting in DAI on the blockchain, and apparently they also showed his bidet. I'm not making this up. They got pictures of him in his bidet because he bought it. He bought it while he was there. So this is why, tongue in cheek, friends, I am a victim of Richard Hart's bidet. Time to tell you the truth. We came to do the number 2 on the toilet. We expected a clean behind. It failed. We have underwear stains. Technically, the bidet is a security. We were having expectations. This is the type of mess that the SEC has created, right? This is no protection. All they're protecting is the puppet wing arm who's controlling them. That's it. Okay? They are the puppet. The arm is CBDC lovers, US Fed, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, the insiders, the banking cartel. That's what they're doing. They're closing the valves on crypto. They want to get in first, get their tentacles in and strangle it from within. Put KYC everywhere. They're already going to tell MetaMask. They're already telling MetaMask and Uniswap to put KYC. So that's what they want. And with all that doom and gloom, friends, there was a bit of scare because the PulseX buy and burn suddenly stopped. Which is crazy. And I have some news. Update from Toby, who's gathered info. I don't have confirmation. Don't quote me on this. I'm just reading a tweet out. All right? A lot of messages get thrown out, friends. It's okay. We're going to make it. Just chill out. Okay, so Toby says, according to the information gathered from the Telegram admin chat, the developers are aware. So the PulseX developers are aware of what's happening with PulseX. And we know they are working on updates, upgrades, optimizations. All the normal developer stuff to make things better and hopefully get us towards Richard Hart's nice to haves list, which includes limit orders, which includes maybe some other things that we have no expectations of. Better order routing, improving the system. It's a finished product, but you can still improve it. For example, you can drive a Toyota Corolla. Doesn't mean you can't change the tires. Doesn't mean you can't upgrade the engine. You can still drive it the way it is, but it can be upgraded. Okay? You don't have expectations that you're going to put a new turbo engine in a Toyota Corolla. Still works. It's a finished product. It's the same thing here. PulseX, the scan, beacon, RPC monitoring, etc. all are being worked on with minimal user impact. Thank you very much, Toby. This brought a lot of relief to people because everybody was just like, man, like you've hit us 15 times. Okay, you're just gonna tell us everything's just deleted now? Yep, they deleted it. The blockchain's gone. So it was very, very welcomed. And also, friends, make sure you say, thank God for Toby's mustache. If you see Toby around on YouTube, if you see him around on Twitter, give him a follow. I support this man. Very good. He's a very positive, optimistic, good warrior for the Pulse Chain and Hex community. So what do we do right now? What about the prices? The prices suck. But you didn't need me to tell you that, right? We can have a look at the PulseX to Pulse ratio. Now, it is very interesting. There's a big PulseX seller. He's rotated PulseX into PHEX. Now, this person, do you see the tweet I just read you from Toby? He did not see it. Whoever this person was did not know that PulseX buy and burn is actually okay. Rumored, okay? It's all right. He didn't know that. He just thought everything's getting deleted. So he removed 28 million worth of PHEX, whatever that value is of PulseX, and he swapped it for 28 million PHEX. And that pushed PulseX down and then PHEX up. So the PulseX to Pulse ratio is now in the discount zone because he exited PulseX, he bought PHEX. So all the PulseX prices, the ratios have dropped. It is in this deep zone right here. Now, because it's here, please, if you want to participate, don't go all in. Don't you dare go all in. All right. I don't know where this thing is going. It's just a ratio. We have no idea. Okay. When we're looking at these, it's just a zone, man. It's just a zone. I'm going to change it here to weekly chart so you can see. It's just a zone. It can go up. It can go down. Maybe it can go all the way down here. By the way, this is 0.27. You know, don't do these 3-to-1, 4-to-1 ratio. I don't like that. It's 0.27. We are 0.27 is the ratio. Okay. It peaked at 0.50. Now we're at 0.27. Very, very low would be like between 0.20 down to 0.10. Don't get scared, but I mean, look, I won't be surprised if we go down lower. But not because PulseX is weak, but might be because Pulse Chain grabs all the value. We could get that. But with all the buy and burn, and because the bull market's very close to starting, I also won't be surprised if like it doesn't go that much lower. Because like we don't have much time for the Bitcoin halving. Volume's going to come pick up, more buy and burn. People want the upside, the thinner type of participation, the lower market cap for PulseX. That's eventually what's going to happen. For example, Uniswap and Ethereum, right? Now, Uniswap is fake DeFi and the useless governance token, but Uni, the coin, is much more thin than Ethereum. It's much easier to push Uni up. So think about that, right? Maybe Pulse is Ethereum. Maybe PulseX is like Uni or Cake or any of the others, okay? We don't know, friends. We are just guessing. The liquidity bonded is different here, and we are the same community members. That's another thing to think about. PulseX and Pulse community members are intertwined, interlinked. That's why maybe you see this ratio a lot more thick than the others. So with this ratio, you can just start incrementally buying. So because it's down here, let's say someone said to me, hey, I've got $1,000 to put in. What would you do? Like just me, maybe get in like 70% PulseX, 30% Pulse, right? So you do like, you know, $700 PulseX, $300 Pulse. If you were to buy in, okay? Don't do all in because it can keep going lower. And then if it goes down much lower, you're aggressively doing it more. So if this PulseX Pulse ratio, if it went down to like 0.150, I would just personally be doing 100% PulseX. Just like don't even think about Pulse. It's just too expensive at this point relative to PulseX. If it gets there, we don't know if we'll get there, but you got to plan for every scenario. Just like how you plan to like, subscribe, bell button, all, because I appreciate every single one of you, and we're here to shock the algorithm in a positive way. You know, friends, at the end of the day, you just got to think for yourself. What can we actually control? Are you still in the game? Yes, I hope you are. I hope you're looking after yourself mentally, psychologically. We're doing everything we can to keep the spirit alive. Don't forget, we're not going anywhere. The community's still strong. I would really like to hear your thoughts. Do you think you should fight and settle? Now that you've heard both sides, okay? Now that you've heard both sides, I want you to think about, yes, there's glory. Yes, oh, glory, we beat the SEC. Is there? Please be honest with me. Do you give a damn that XRP beat the SEC? Do you care about XRP or do you care about your bags? You just care about your bags. You don't really care about the SEC. Like, do you think like, oh, wow, XRP, I respect them so much. Like, it's still the same. Nothing changed. XRP does not have a whirlwind of people rotating into it who are like running over themselves just to get into the XRP community. You're not seeing that at all. People don't care. It's back down to 50 cents. When it beat the SEC, it went and tapped up here to 92 cents. So we're not seeing an XRP narrative. We're seeing nothing. So, it's very apparent that we got to look at both sides. What does it mean to settle? What does it mean to fight? How much do you want to risk and what do you want to do? He's going to carry this name forever, He's going to carry this name forever. He's not, if he wins, just me, okay? If he wins, I don't think people are going to be messaging me saying, wow, you are so right. I'm going to now drop my ego. I'm now going to respect this man or duck. I don't think they're going to say that. I think they're just going to keep calling him a Ponzi scam, a pyramid scheme, a grifter, a main character who's gone. They're going to be saying the exact same labels that I hear right now. They say, and they're going to be posting that Hex minus 99% linear chart. And all they're going to be talking about, I'm just letting you know, Ricardo Corazon himself, he can beat the SEC and he can be championed by Ivan on Tech and Crypto Banter and every other YouTube channel. Hell, Bankless can even ride him, if you know what I mean. But I think, honestly, people are still going to look at the HEX chart, and even if it only peaks at like 18 cents here, they're going to be saying, you're an idiot, you got scammed, it's never going to break the all-time high, you got grifted. That's what they're going to be saying 24 hours a day. It doesn't matter if Pulse goes 100x. I promise you, this is the ammo they're going to do. They don't care about the winning. They don't care about that. So that's why I'm thinking about glory. What glory? Do all those websites, do you see all those soy boy journalists going like, wow, I take back my comments from let's say he beats the SEC. It's now the year 2026. We didn't even get a bull market. We're all destroyed. Hex is now entering its third cycle, and everyone's like, wow, let me go back to 3 years. Like some little soy boy journalist who can't grow a beard or facial hair anyway has apologized with some pieces of text on the internet. There's no glory there, man. There's no glory. But now, obviously, we know this man, he knows what to do. He's going to weigh up the pros and the cons of both sides, and he's going to do what he thinks best. Unfortunately, it's out of our control, but I would still like to hear from you. And also, ask mum and dad what they think as well. Make sure you like and subscribe. I'm going to catch you in the next one.